This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to this One Health training, celebrating the One Health Awareness Month. This is the third and last day of our training. My name is Marcela Martin, and with all the One Health Social Sciences, Food Safety and Food Security Small Working Group, say thank you to be here, and we wish you enjoy the learning. Aminu, please present the first speaker for today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Marcella. Hello, everyone. Once again, you are welcome to day 3, and of course, the last day of our One Health training. In the past 2 days, we have learned from different speakers across different disciplines. So we are rounding up today with 3 great presentations. I assure you that. So we have Dr. Sally Ronald Ogwald, and we will have Dr. Abdulrahman Abdul Munim Ahmad Kelani, and then we'll take Dr. Randa before we close the training today. So we are going to start with Dr. Sally, who will take us through One Health in Wildlife Conservation. Dr. Sally is a One Health and Conservation Officer and is involved in promoting biodiversity conservation through zoonotic disease surveillance at One Wildlife Human Livestock Interface, promoting and advocating population health and environment approach, empowering local communities. So I hope everyone is ready for Dr. Sally. Well, I am. I kind of have my everything ready. So, Doctor, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for that warm introduction and welcome. Yes, one of the most things that people suffer with is pronouncing my name, but I'm happy. My name is being pronounced well, Sally Ronald Ogwal. So I want to first thank everyone that has been on since the 23rd of this training up to now, the last day. Thanks for the enduring. And yes, One Health, if we're to achieve, we have to endure throughout. My topic is simple and very interesting. One Health in Wildlife Conservation. Straight away. Oh, okay. So that's my presentation outline. Basically, we're going to define One Health up to the conclusion. And I'm sure from the previous presenters, since it's a One Health concept, people are now used and know what One Health is. And maybe for starters, in case maybe this is your first time to hear about One Health, we can go and do a simple review. One Health basically is about recognizing that the health of people is connected, it's closely connected to animals and our shared environment. And especially when we talk about animals, people think it's only livestock or domestic animals. Other people think it's about only wildlife, but when we talk of animals, in the nutshell, we mean wildlife and livestock. So that's what One Health is all about. So it's a concept that looks at how best do we address these human, animal, and ecosystems through a multidisciplinary approach. And therefore, it brings different disciplines on board. That's why in the presentations you've had people's backgrounds, people are from veterinary backgrounds, others are environmentalists, others from public health, medical practitioners. So that's what One Health does. It brings them on a same platform, and we make sure that these things are addressed in a holistic manner. So for wildlife conservation, in most cases when people hear about wildlife, people think of only animals. People will definitely think it's about zebras, giraffes, lions. However, wildlife definitely goes beyond just animals. Wildlife is about protect, it definitely means other species, that is the flora and fauna. So by definition, wildlife conservation is the practice of protecting wild plants and animal species and their habitats. From the recent estimates from UN records, it shows that 42,100 species of these ones assessed are at a risk of extinction. And we've realized that some of the actually animals no longer exist. Some of the animals or plant species are only kept in zoos or sanctuaries for preservation. So expanding to all existing species, a UN report in 2019 on biodiversity put this estimate even higher at 1 million species. So it's therefore acknowledged that an increasing number of ecosystems on Earth containing endangered species are disappearing. And challenges of wildlife conservation. Several challenges have been encountered when it comes to wildlife conservation, but we tried to make sure that we narrow them to 5 particular challenges. And these are the challenges. One, we have human-wildlife conflict. Human-wildlife conflict is encounters that happen between humans and wildlife, and they've always lead to negative results. And one of the things that has always been left out when people talk of human-wildlife conflict is disease transmission. In most cases, people think human-wildlife conflict is about loss of property, loss of livelihood or death, but we also have human disease transmission, zoonotic disease transmission, because when the interactions come and these diseases surface amidst us, it's not a positive result, it's a negative result. So this problem cuts both ways. The need of people and wildlife are not actually in harmony. So as we suffer, we humans from human-wildlife conflict, the animals as well suffer. And you look in that picture, this elephant had raided the crop, that is a maize plantation, and community got angry, and definitely this is what happened. And in this picture, also will show you a gorilla that is trying to raid human crops in the neighboring community. So another challenge is faced in wildlife conservation. We have illegal wildlife activities and poaching. Definitely poaching, this means it goes beyond just killing of animals, but buying, trading, and all other aspects. So animal trade has become a flourishing business where animal smuggling has grown to 6 billion a year. You've always realized this at airports where people have been arresting people with several items. In this picture, in the first picture, that's someone putting on a mask. That is me. It was my first practice when I just joined conservation. And these are people who were illegal hunters, and they had killed antelopes, 12 of them, and packed them in the sack. So that was my first assignment. And in the middle, those are snares that they use. Those snares can arrest each and any type of animal, anything that comes across it. And these are one of the ivories that were arrested at the Entebbe airport that were being transported outside of the country. So this is how serious wildlife conservation is suffering from illegal wildlife activities and poaching. Then we have government actions. We've realized several times when development partners want to come and take part in development of a given country, they are either sent to those protected areas to put industries, mines, and roads. This is one of the national parks in Uganda, where they are opening up an oil reserve. And you can imagine a national park that has a good number of wild species. But now when this effect of oil comes into play, definitely wildlife is going to suffer. Then we talk of natural causes. we've had several natural causes, wildfires, we've had floods, we've had eruptions from different mountains affecting wildlife, but we also had the emerging and remerging diseases, and the most recent is the COVID-19 that affected, not only did it affect humans, but also the animals got affected. And actually, if you go that reading, you read about a zoo, was it a zoo in UK, where a gorilla contacted coronavirus. So these are some of the things that are giving wildlife a big challenge. And then one of the biggest challenge is climate change. It is the biggest challenge emerging with green gases. We have extreme summers. When it is hot, it is extremely hot. When rain comes, we have floods. So things have really changed, and this in the long run affect wildlife conservation. In the picture, you can see this human being trying to suffer, looking for water, and then you see this elephant looking for water to cool its body, and it can't access any water, so the only left thing is use of mud around. So that's how serious climate change is. Therefore, from all those challenges and the presentation I've given on wildlife conservation is about ensuring the survival of these species and trying to educate people on living sustainably with other species. And the biggest goal of wildlife conservation is to protect, preserve, manage, restore of natural environments and ecological communities that inhabit them. So One Health in wildlife conservation, which is the major topic. How do the two blend? How do we make a meaning of One Health in wildlife conservation? So One Health is a concept, if you remember from the definition, that addresses human, animal, and ecosystems at a holistic manner. So this concept brings the natural world and wildlife into spotlight, and it is a hope. We believe, we feel it is a hope for positive attention to wildlife well-being and its own right and biodiversity preservation for both human and conservation purposes. So One Health therefore brings various disciplines together to more efficiently and effectively improve the health of multiple species. And from this, I want to give a case study of the organization I work with, Conservation Through Public Health, and so that we understand better what One Health in wildlife conservation concept really means. So this case study is of Conservation Through Public Health. This is an organization that was founded in 2003. This organization basically is an organization that promotes the biodiversity conservation by enabling people to coexist with gorillas and other wildlife through improving animal health, community health, and livelihoods in and around protected areas and wildlife-rich habitats in Africa. So this organization was founded by Dr. Gladys Kalemazikusoka, one of the leading conservationists and scientists working in and around East Africa and around the globe. She was the first female, actually she was the first wildlife vet for Uganda, and we're happy for that. So the organization's vision is to make sure that as gorillas populations, when we talk of gorillas, because gorilla is our flagship species, but the services go beyond gorillas. So as the gorilla populations are thriving, local communities should as well thrive. So the thematic programs of Conservation Through Public Health, it deals in wildlife conservation, alternative livelihoods, and community health. So when you see that beautiful gorilla, that's what biggest focus of Conservation Through Public Health is on, but also extends services to other wildlife. So wildlife conservation, basically what CTPH does on wildlife conservation is that we make sure that we address the threats to wildlife, to these gorillas and other wildlife, so that their health first and foremost is improved, but also their habitats are protected. So this is done through monitoring of their health, whereby we collect samples, gorilla samples, and this is an organization that built the first gorilla health and community health center, where we analyze these samples and then try to understand what could be the parasites, what could be the diseases, what could be the signs and symptoms. So in this wildlife conservation, it also helps improve community attitudes and forest conservation. So another program we have is community health, whereby community health is a concept that looks at behavior change, and it focuses on community, basically those communities that live near these forests. So we work through community champions. These are community health workers, whereby they enable homes bordering protected areas to have programs and messages that help improve their behavioral change. We engage youth and women better so that they understand, but we also make sure that they have a sounding health, because we realize we are only talking about save the gorillas, but we are leaving the humans out. So as we save the gorillas and other wildlife, humans as well are being saved. And then alternative livelihood looks at how best do we support these communities, because one of the biggest challenges they were giving is that we go to these forests to poach because we lack food, because we lack firewood. So what best do you put in place that these communities don't go in such areas? And that's why we had different alternative livelihoods. For example, energy, clean energy systems, giving them coffee, and very many alternatives. So this is a big picture that shows threats to gorilla subspecies, whereby the biggest threat is habitat loss and poaching. So diseases and human wildlife conflict has become one of the serious aspects that is challenging One Health in wildlife conservation. The first picture shows that is the Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, where the gorillas stay, but they cross over and come to land to look for something to eat. And that's why in the last picture you're seeing this is a banana plantation. They came to eat that banana plantation, and so they end up destroying. And in the middle, this is a baby gorilla that in 1996, it died of scabies. And our founder in trying to, an organization trying to find out what really happened, this scabies was traced to be back from human beings. And then this, after being traced in the two local living around Bwindi National Park, so they realized that we needed to do intervention not only in animals but also human beings, because gorillas and humans, we are 98% DNA related. So you find that most things that affect them do affect us. These are ones of the pictorial representations of the services that we do. The first two, you see wildlife collecting samples, doing analysis in the laboratory. This is livestock. After doing analysis, we do community interventions. And one of the basic community interventions we also do is family planning, because one of the biggest challenges that communities give birth, these local communities don't have access to family planning. So this outburst of population put pressure on the wildlife. And therefore, once we tell them, you people, you wait, you see, you can have a very planned family that you can manage well, and that's what we do. So in the impact, we've increased the family planning, and we've contributed to mountain gorilla population increase, reduce disparities. Gorillas are better protected in community land. Now they understand that, oh, we need to protect, we need to conserve this wildlife. Then threats to homes and washing facilities has increased from 10 to 75%. And then human-related diseases outbreaks, not only in gorillas, but also other wildlife has reduced. So why One Health in wildlife conservation? From statistics, it shows that nearly 70% of all worldwide emerging human infection diseases in the past 3 decades originated in animals. And it definitely predisposes this zoonotic disease transmission between wildlife and humans. And actually, with zoonotic disease, we've already had a misdefinition of zoonotic disease, where people say it's a transfer or transmission of disease from animals to humans. But we should also note that it is a two-way traffic, whereby humans can as well infect the wildlife. So therefore, zoonotic disease definitely refers to transmission of diseases between, not from, between wildlife and humans. Just as I showed you an example of a gorilla that we lost, and the scabies was traced to have origin from humans. So these have been highlighted by activities like encroachment on habitats, poaching, among others. Another reason as why One Health is important in wildlife conservation is that environmental health may affect human population and health through contamination, pollution, and poor conditions that may lead to new infectious agents. We talked about climate change, and the world population is projected to grow 9 billion by 2015. So just imagine if we have that population outburst. We need where to stay, we need to construct house, we need resources. Where do we look at? We look at the wildlife that is near us. So why is One Health important in conservation? This is just a summary of the previous. People live closer to wildlife, changes in climate and land use, more global travel and trade. Actually, I remember the first coronavirus case we got was through this international travel from the airport. Then animals are more than just food. Of course, there are people have made these wild animals a delicacy, a source of protein to them. So these factors make it easier for diseases to spread between animals and people. So a One Health approach is therefore there to tackle these threats by looking at all angles of human, animal, and plants. So how to achieve One Health in wildlife conservation? One, we have to recognize that the interdependence of human and animals is there. We have to first agree, accept, absorb it within ourselves if we want to achieve One Health in wildlife conservation. Two, we have to understand and approach health and conservation issues and opportunities holistically using a systems thinking. If we continue working in silos, we shall not have this. But then we should make sure that whenever there's a conservation issue, we holistically address it using a systems thinking. Form interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary teams across human, animal, and environmental health practitioners. And I think that's why today we have a One Health training. We're having different practitioners on board. Then promote communication and collaboration among representatives of diverse constituencies across human, animal, environment, and other relevant disciplines. So in conclusion, One Health in wildlife conservation is a step towards achieving SDGs, ensuring the protection of humans, wildlife, and wilderness. And this One Health in wildlife conservation addresses SDG Agenda 3, which is good health and well-being, 13, which is climate change, 14, which is life below water, and 15, which is life on land. I thank you very much for giving me your ears. That has been my presentation, and back to you, the moderator.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sally. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. We are grateful. We are going to open the room for questions and answers now. So if you have a question, you can please um, raise up your hands through the option, or you can write it down on the chat box, and we will read it out. So questions, please.
Amino, we have a question from the chat box. May I read it for you, for the
Yeah,
audience?
go ahead, please. Okay.
Thank you, dear. Hello, Dr. Sally. I would like to know in which country is the project with gorillas? Sorry, but I didn't understand the name of the country. Thank you for the excellent presentation. Thank you so much, Philip, for your question. Please, Professor, feel free.
Okay, thank you very much. This project in particular is in Uganda, where we have the mountain gorillas, and then in Dr. Congo, because they are at transboundary. So gorillas at times from Congo cross and come to Uganda, or from Uganda to Congo. So it is in Uganda, a country found in East Africa, and also DRC Congo.
Okay, thank you very much, doctor. Do we have another question? Dr. Randa? Okay. Okay.
Okay, there is a small question from Dr. Ahmed Ben Shahzad. He's asking you why is the gorilla the main species of concern for conservation as opposed to other smaller species like monkeys, other apes, or altogether different families like antelope? Is it because it's the keystone species, or it's just a highly endangered species? Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Actually, you tried answering part of it. Yes, when you look at the IUCN red list, mostly in the endangered species, one are the gorillas, and actually there are very few. And basically, if they are found, is it nine countries in Africa where we have Rwanda, Cameroon, Republic of Congo, Gabon, Nigeria. They are the only countries that have gorillas, but they are very extinct. And when you look at their birth rate, gorillas give birth after every 4 years. So within that 4-year time frame, if anything happens to them, definitely they will get extinct. Number two, the reason that's why we give gorillas much focus is because their DNA makeup material is 98% human DNA. So that makes them more sensitive to human diseases, but also human conditions and all other things that affect us. And that's why we gave them a lot of attention, and they're interesting animals to study.
Thank you very much for that response. I think that's clear. Since we don't have any other question, if you have any further question or you want to ask doctor, I think you have his social media handles and Gmail on the screen. You can contact doctor directly. Thank you very much, doctor, for the presentation. We really appreciate. Thank you. So we are moving on to our second presenter for today. We are going to call on the Dr. Abdulrahman Abdul Mun'im Ahmad Kelani, who is a lecturer of animal production and livestock consultant at the Egyptian Atomic Authority. Dr. Abdurrahman is going to speak to us on One Health and climate change. Such a very interesting topic, One Health and climate change. Doctor, you can go ahead, please, if you're ready.
Hello, hello to all of you. Thank you, Dr. Sally, for excellent presentation. Thank you, all organizers and participates. Thank you for all of you. I am Dr. Abdurrahman Kilani, PhD in animal production, dairy farming consultant. I am appreciate your time, and I'm so happy with you. Let's go for your time. My presentation about health and climate change. The effects of climate changes on livestock. And as we know, global warming is a big problem facing all the world, not only animals, but also all human beings. And as we know also, animal production divided into two ways. Calf production, male or female, male for feeding and meat, female as a heifer for replacement, and the milk production and for animal for health, and we use all of us through the world using milk production, milk products. So, global warming, sustainable influences of performance of animal well-being. The heat stress can impair both of animal health and productivity directly by hypothalamus and indirectly by reducing of feeding consumption and behavior change. As we know, hypothalamus is the main part of pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is the master gland in all human beings. It's control of all other glands, and it's important for health of animal and other human beings to be in a good health and homeostasis. The main function of pituitary gland and the hypothalamus make animals and or human being to retain the homeostasis. Okay. There are several climate changes related stressors such as cold, heat, humidity, rain, ice, and wind that can affect the endocrine system and influence the performance of an animal such as reproductive system and the normal estrus cycle of the cow.
Doctor, professor,
Yes,
excuse me. We can't see your screen. You
okay,
can share with us, please?
okay, okay.
Can you share it right now, Professor?
I shared my screen. You can see it?
Yes.
Okay.
So can you please just repeat one more time from the fourth slide, please? Thank you.
Okay. And in the do you mean slide fourth? Fourth slide, you mean?
Yes, please.
Yes. Global warming, sustainable influences on performance and animal well-being. I mean, global warming, it's a big problem facing all human beings, not animal only. Okay, this global warming or heat stress or stressor in general affected by reproductive and reproduction in all human beings. In animal specific, pituitary gland and hyperthermia directly affected, and this is affected by reproduction. I mean, reproduction is one part of reproduction. Okay, reproduction. I mean reproduction of calves, male or female. Male for meat, female as a replacement behaviors for reproduction after that. And milk production. Milk production is the second production of the cow or livestock, cows, camels, buffaloes, sheep and goat. And the global warming affected on this pituitary gland and hyperthermia, and this is the affected all of production, milk, heavier, calves, and whatever. There are several climate changes related stressors such as cold, heat, humidity, rain, ice, and wind. Uh, we are in Egypt in subtropical condition. In Europe, in stressor like wind, ice, or rain. All of these stressors affected the endocrine system and influence the performance of animals such as reproductive system and the normal estrous cycle of the cow. Climate, nutrition, and management are environmental factors and which counted as the main stressor on animal and affected their endocrine system. Climate change is the most dangerous threat facing human beings. Earth's surface temperature in high every day. Okay, in 2050, more than 70% more than now in 2024. I think there are investigation or case study in subtropical condition in Egypt. How can heat stress affected reproductive sites on Holstein dairy cows and in livestock in general? Item of this investigation: conception rate, embryonic loss, days open, pregnancy rate, gestation period, abortion, dry period, calving interval, and classified the temperature humidity index in three levels: low in 70, moderate 71 to 75, high more than 85. The effect of high temperature humidity index on reproductive performance of Holstein dairy cows. Um, the purpose of this investigation or this presentation: how global warming can affect by high life or livestock affected by global warming and heat stress in specific, and how much global warming or global economic affected by this heat stress. Number one, estrus detection. Estrus detection in cows from 21 to 22 days. Cows estrus uh, divided into more phases. Okay, estrus detection. Duration of estrus detection was longer in summer. It was 23.4. In normal 21. Winter in winter it was 21.5 in this breed. Repeated this week activity during estrus was less in the summer compared with winter and in Japanese black cattle. Number two, conception rate. Conception rate number of or surface per conception is defined as average number of natural or artificial surface required per conception. In simple definition, how times we can artificial this cow to be pregnant. If this rate is more, it's having value, and we having economic problem, wasting money and economic problem in large animal in large farms, and this is affected in budget. There are many cases of low conception rates during summer, including reducing oocyte quality, failure of fertilization, reducing embryonic development, and the altered secretion of various hormones. Number three, embryonic loss. In multipara, in normal cases, embryonic loss may be not affected in the homeostasis. Embryonic loss affected by heat stress, all stressor in general, but global warming and heat stress in specific affected by embryonic loss and decreased in winter and increased in summer, affected by heat stress and the high temperature index. Temperature with humidity face in the humidity and the temperature causing big problem for these cows for production, and the main causes of embryonic loss. Embryonic loss in multipara, 67% of embryonic losses occurred by day 8. If cow after pregnant affected by heat stress, it is mainly affect its fetus or embryonic during the first week of pregnant. Number four, pregnancy rate, gestation period, and abortion. Heat stress can affect reproductive performance in dairy herd. Also, it will generally cause conception problems rather than abortion. The highest abortion ratio in summer, 70.4, and spring 70%. In the most of winter 4.8, and in fall 5.7. The significant differences between estimated may be belong to temperature degrees, which could causes heat stress and the abortion. This figure showing the temperature humidity index rise through 4 years in Egypt. Through 4 years, we can so from April to August, after it's above of 80%, 80, and this is facing a problem with the cow in pregnant, and maybe lost her fetus or embryo, and in early stage of pregnancy, and they make abortion in late stage of pregnancy. Effect of THI, temperature humidity index, at coughing on the subsequent reproductive insides in Holstein cow. Our traits, coughing interval, days open, gestation period, surface per conception, and the dry period. In overall or homeostasis and the low and the moderate THI, there wasn't any significant difference, but in high temperature humidity index we have significant in coughing interval. Coughing interval is the period from cow have havarity or coughing to the next pregnancy. This is period reached for 4 days in the overall and low and moderate THI. Also, days open gestation period. Gestation period is a specific matter, and the animal facing problem in gestation period in subtropical condition or arid condition maybe lost their fetus or embryonic before before delivery or before parity within day. It's called stillbirth. Okay. In days in service per conception, we have a significant uh, 0.1 or approximately 0.2%, and this economic loss in money and having economic value. Odds ratio, conception rate, and pregnancy rate. Odds ratio is a probability of losing fetus according to heat and according to the temperature humidity index. At the ratio of probability of losing cow's fetus or cow's calf before delivery or before parity. Conception rate in high was significant and obviously according to low and moderate. Pregnancy rate also affected by temperature humidity index. Odds ratio for the effect of THI at artificial insemination on embryonic loss and abortion. Also affected embryonic loss and abortion affected by temperature humidity index. This figure showing the effect of high temperature humidity index on embryonic loss. We show the high temperature humidity index causes a lot of embryonic losses, and this economy fact as this economy problem facing commercial dairy farmers. A hazard function for abortion at mean of ovariation THI index, where time variable was day in milk at artificial insemination. Abortion rate was rise according to low or moderate temperature humidity index. In low, animal in homeostasis. In moderate, maybe try to adapt for THI. In high THR, he lost his embryo and abortion. We can enhance some of these problems in high temperature humidity index facing animals in commercial dairy farms by nutrient by drenching folic acid or folate, vitamin B9 in 120 Holstein dairy cows classified in three groups divided into 14 cows control. Second group 5 milligram of folic acid drenching orally per kilogram weight. Third group 10 microgram folic acid drenching orally by kilogram from body weight. This treatment to reduce the effects of temperature humidity index and the safe embryo, safe pregnancy, and reduce abortion cases. Blood measurements: glucose, urea, total protein, albumin, globulin, cholesterol, triglyceride, HDL, and LDL. Folate, cortisol, growth hormone, insulin growth factor like 1, pregnancy-associated glycoprotein, progesterone, non-steroid fatty acid, beta-hydroxybutyric acid. The most results, the effect of folic acid supplement 5 milligram and 10 milligram on serum folate profile in heat-stressed Holstein dairy cow during the early gestation period. There was no any effect of doses of or drenching 5 from 10 milligram of folate in the pregnancy rate of in the early gestation of pregnancy. Effect of folic acid supplement 5 and 10 milligram on progesterone profile. Progesterone profile is as an indicator of safe pregnancy and parturition, as we know. In progesterone profile in pregnancy should be in levels not less than 2 milligram 2 milligram. And this treatment showing the effect of folic by drenching folate or folic acid in 5 milligram and 10 milligram, and showing the folic acid in 10 milligram having a higher level of progesterone and safe pregnancy. Other blood parameters, glucose was highly affected in folic acid in 10 milligram. Urea didn't affect, but affected by 5 milligram. Globulin affected in folic acid in 10 milligram. Growth hormone was highly significant in folic acid 10 milligram and the full folic acid 5 milligram. Insulin growth factor 1 was higher in 5 milligram and in 10 milligram. The main causes of this study levels of NEFA non-steroid fatty acid and beta-hydroxybutyric acid. It is an indicator of ketos body affected by heat stress and the energy imbalance in dairy cows. This results showing that NEFA non-steroid fatty acid was significant in 5 and 10 milligram of folic acid. Beta-hydroxybutyric acid not affected. Pregnancy-associated glycoprotein was higher. Pregnancy-associated glycoprotein is an indicator of safe pregnancy like progesterone, but is efficient and the early indicator more than progesterone. Recommendation of this study or this survey. The meteorological data can act as an alarm for the heat stress and in the dairy farmers. Hence, the management in dairy farms should take the participation procedure to avoid harmful effects of heat stress. Supplement the heat-stressed Holstein cows with folic acid or folate in the first months of pregnancy could be useful to their regular reproductive pattern in subtropical region. Finally, thank you and appreciate your time.
Thank Amino.
Yes.
Amino. Yeah, please, dear.
Any question?
Okay. So we have a few. Actually, we don't have any. Is there any question for Dr. Abdulrahman Kilani? Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Ahmed bin Shahzad. If you wish, you can unmute yourself and ask your question directly to the presenter. Okay, so we may wait for a few seconds. Please, if anyone would like also to ask a question.
Okay. I have a small question.
Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Professor.
Yeah, so maybe this is something that can be answered now or after some time. But I just wanted to know what are the, I wanted to really understand the consequences. What are those devastating effects of climate change on human health? And I would say human and wildlife health.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sally. Um, According to global and researchers reviews, uh, the main causes of treatment reducing heat stress or global warming on livestock to prevent embryonic loss, especially in the early stage of pregnancy. It is critical time. The dose in commercial dairy farms, 5 milligram of folate or folic acid is efficient to prevent embryonic loss.
Okay, yeah, I get it now. But I think, yeah, we shall need to talk more because I'm really interested in climate change, and I want to see how best do we connect climate change to One Health or biodiversity conservation. Thank you very much for that submission. I hope we work more.
Thank you, Dr. Sally. Thank you, Dr. Sally. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sari, for your question. There is a question from Dr. Ahmed bin Shahzad in the chat box. Is it fine to assume that global warming will increase incidence of summer anistis in dairy cows and buffaloes? Actually, Professor, I've also read about this topic before, but could you please clarify it more for us? Thank you.
Uh, we can manage some management like fans, conditions, spray, air, water spray. It's technical and a part of dairy farm manager to reduce heat stress or stress in general. But commercial practice for small and large farms produce products to reduce embryonic loss or reducing abortion as that's economic from the economic side. From the environmental side, we haven't any management more than fans, water sprays, reducing humidity, planting trees around the farms. Uh, Not also, thus management. We can't control in the environment in the global, especially in subtropical condition or arid areas like Egypt, Africa. But in Europe and the USA, the different matter. We haven't another stressors, wind, cold, ice, or whatever. But the mean of the global companies in animal nutrition or feed additives to reduce embryonic losses and reducing abortion. Environment we can't change it, the current position. Also we can't change methane emission. We can't change a lot of things, but we are trying to reduce trying to reduce heat stress, trying to reduce environmental, trying to reduce abortion, to have a good and a good animal in a good health and a good environment. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed.
But doctor, we can monitor through the housing system of the farm, the temperature. What do you think?
Mm,
So yeah, the idea whether we monitored it through the housing system, so we may not concern about the climate change. What do you think?
Maybe housing system or yards in animals, it is important by shadows, okay, by creative housing. It is in, in the room, but in the field, dairy cows need space, need to run. One cow needs from 30 to 50 meter for each cow, and dairy cows need to walk every day. Dairy cows have another management compared with beef. Beef eat and maybe this housing management have a value in beef, not in dairy cows.
Thank you so much for the clarification, Professor Kilani. Amino, do you want to say something?
Go ahead, please.
Amino, can you hear us? Okay, so in case the audience they don't have any further questions to the honorable presenter, we may take a break for 1-2 minutes. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Kilani, for your awesome and knowledgeable presentation, as well as also thank you so much, Professor Sally, for your awesome presentation. So before closing today's training with the Professor Marcella, we may have just show the role of the youth in One Health approach, not One Health approach, let's say how youth voices are important in One Health. So after 1-2 minutes, let's take a break. It's going to be a brief presentation and just to have some fun together, then we will close close our training, our last day of the training today with Professor Marcella. Thank you. Okay, so we'll start after 1 minute, please. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, Randa, perfectly.
Hello.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you so
see.
much, Professor. Thank you. So may we start our last presentation just to share a few things about the importance of youth voices in One Health. Since we are a member of a social science small working group, the Food Safety and Food Security Small Working Group, one of One Health Commission Social Sciences Initiative, we would like to share some few things about the importance of youth voices in One Health. As you know that the youth engagement and participation in One Health advocacy and streaming is one of the core strategies to advance the One Health approach. As we know from the definition of One Health approach, it's an intersectoral collaboration. So it's not doesn't focus only in one sector or one let's say domain. No, it's an intersectional intersection collaboration. So, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and what happened during the COVID-19, a lot of a lot of, let's say, movement toward the importance of One Health approach started to work on focusing the importance of One Health approach in in our health food in our health food ecosystem, and as well as the health of our animals also. Okay, so how can the youth contribute in One Health? Through art contests, through educational webinars, physical activities such as cycling, for example, social media, sharing more information through social media. Now we can share a few examples about the youth engagements in One Health approach. One of them was the quadripartite working group on youth engagement for antimicrobial resistance. The objective of the youth of the quadripartite working group. What quadripartite means? The collaboration between the FAO, the World Animal Health Organization, the UN Environment, and the WHO. This quadripartite, they have engaged the youth in tackling antimicrobial resistance. The members are required to do a lot of activities in order to tackle antimicrobial resistance, such as one of the activities which happened in Nairobi. They had a national youth AMR webinar. Also, they have a cycling to raise awareness for the proper use of antibiotic. This is an example of physical activity toward raising awareness about antimicrobial resistance. Another activity was held by the RBA initiative, or the Rollback Antimicrobial Resistance Initiative. It's in Tanzania. They have trained the road buses to get about the importance of the proper use of antimicrobial and how to tackle antimicrobial resistance. This is Mike, one of the members. He's speaking about that in the World Antimicrobial Awareness Week. Another also example that show the importance of youth voices in One Health, which is the ISOHA, the International Student One Health Assembly, Association. It's their goal to connect the students around the world. There's a lot of branches around the world between who are interested in the connection between animal health and human health and environmental health. They had a lot of team members. They conduct different webinars, different activities in order to raise awareness about the importance of One Health approach. And thank you for listening. We will share a few links in our email after we finish the webinar, after we finish training today, to get to know more about these initiatives. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me all?
Yes, dear, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Finally. Okay. Thank you very much, Randa, for that. Youth, One Health, and Youth Voices. So, maybe someone might have something to add to what Randa have just said, or a question, or just to deliberate on the topic. Anyone, please? Anybody? We are all
Yes,
youth. Mhm.
there's Muhammad Asif Maher in the chat box. Do you want to add or any comment, or do you want to ask any question?
Yes, please, Doc. You can please unmute.
Okay, as we wait for Muhammad to surface, I think yeah, youth engagement is really a very important aspect because when we look at inclusion, we realize that in most cases, when people are doing implementations, they've been leaving out these sensitive groups of people. So when I look at this kind of presentation, I'm really happy because it helps on bringing more social contact with these youth. It builds self-awareness and it has increased involvement. So therefore, they get this knowledge, education, and they develop their skills. So this is a very important topic, and thank you very much for this presentation.
Thank you, Professor Sally. And also, I'd like to add something for that's important to engage the youth, especially in the One Health or anything related to One Health. I used if you are in contact with young people, a lot of people they think that One Health is a term related to your health is first or your health is better, while they don't know that One Health is just an intersector. It just discuss the things related to to human, animal, and environmental health. So that's important to raise awareness toward One Health approach in our community and in our social. And sometimes when you work with your people, okay, you feel that there's more hope and more positive vibes. I don't mean that all people they don't have positive vibes, but sometimes young people are less boring. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then that take me back to what Dr. Sally mentioned during his presentation when he said that that the term zoonotic, it's not really like a one way something. It is a two-way term, because we can actually get disease from animals and they can also get disease from us. So it is not like, okay, it is just all about us or something. They also matter. Animals matter, and then our environment too matters. So it is not a one-way thing, and it's not just humans and humans. It's a one health, and it's a one world actually, and we are all living in that world with the animals and everyone. So thank you very much, everyone. Do we have anyone that wants to ask something? Okay, so I think I will call on Professor Marcella to talk to us, to give us something, take home or take away that we can take home. Professor?
Thanks, Amino. Well, this is the end. We are grateful to have been honored with the presence of this choice group of One Health experts who are given to us their expertise and have shown several aspects and perspectives about different World Health approaches. And of course, we say thank you to the rest, the assistant. Thanks for being here with us during this 3 days training. Don't you forget you can follow our work on our YouTube channel and on the other media channels like Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Again, thank you all and goodbye.
Thank you very much, Professor. So yes, I will also say this. Don't forget to follow our work on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and our all other social media channels. We are One Health, Social Science, Food Safety, and Food Security, small working group, and we're working under the One Health Commission. So thank you very much all for your time, and we hope that we have had great days, these 3 days. Well, I have enjoyed myself and I've learned a lot personally, and I hope all of us have done the same. Randa, do you have any last word, or what can
Uh,
we do to yeah?
yeah, thank you so much, dear, for your contribution. But we'd like to ask from the audience, please just write down your names and your email address in our chat box so we can share with you the final version of the attendance link via email. And also, we have shared our link tree. You can be in touch with us through the links inside of the link tree. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much, Randa. So let us all drop our emails so that we can send out the forms for the certificates, the attendance form.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody.